Okay, so this is just an opportunity to walk through your syllabus for BC Calculus. This is posted in the Google Classroom for the course. If you have questions as the year goes on, please refer to this. This I'd like to think of as a living document. I'll keep track of what dates the latest revisions are on, and we'll make changes here as we need to throughout the year. But for right now, this is kind of the guide for the course. So the course overview here is basically a statement about what the course is. This is derived from what the College Board says this course is. So our course here is not unique to Garrison Forest, but is a course that is an AP course determined by whose curriculum is determined by the College Board, and our goal is to ensure your best possible scores, hopefully a 5, on the BC Calculus exam. We meet during, that's not correct, we meet during B block, so there we go, editing on the fly here. So I can change this because I just updated this on 8.28, and this is 28, and this is now version 2.1. All right, so that's our latest revision. The date we meet class on is B block. This is my name. These are my free periods. They're D and G, and this is my email address. My preferred mode of communication is email. I answer quickly and typically all the time. This is a list of the objectives of the course. It's basically, again, derived from the College Board's material. A lot of this will not make sense until you, of course, actually take the course. So you can skim them, could be helpful, may or may not be. All right, so things that you need for class. The book you don't need to bring with you every day. I will. It's the Stewart 7th edition of the textbook. I'll alert you on days that you need to bring this. I will probably also send out an email as well, so just be aware that that's happening. The second book that's listed here is the multiple choice and free response questions book. That comes up more at the end of the year than now. That's like when we get into immediate preparation for the BC exam. So again, you will not need that every day, but as we get to the end of the year, at least know where it is so that you can be preparing. You should use a pencil. You need a TI-84 graphing calculator. My logic behind this is that this is like required for class every day. This is essential because part of the test is calculator active, and the more familiarity you have with that calculator, the better off you will be. You need a laptop computer, just because that's how information is disseminated in my class, is through the internet, and the primary way of getting that is using your computer. Okay, so this is the outline for the course. As always, dates may change, but I'm going to try to hold to this schedule as long as I possibly can. The course basically breaks down into 8 major units. Limits and continuity, and then the second unit is polars, parametrics, and vector valued functions. These are unique to the BC content, and these ideas will be repeated throughout the course. So Unit 2 is not something that you would see in the AP/AB class. 3 and 4 are the derivative chapters. 5 and 6 are about sequences, series, Taylor and Maclaurin series. These are, again, 5 and 6 are unique to the BC course. Now, if you have friends at a different school, we will probably be covering these topics, sequences and series, and Taylor and Maclaurin series, much earlier than other schools do. I moved them to the middle of the course for a number of reasons. One is because they're a natural break between derivatives and integration. and two, because if you think about this, as we get closer to the BC exam, we tend to want to have the toughest material already finished so that we're not like doing the most difficult stuff at the end of the course. So I've actually moved them so that they're in that like December through February period so that you're getting the more challenging material earlier so that you have more time to kind of digest it and wrap your head around it prior to the test. Um, Units 7 and 8 are the integral units. And then we have the exam. The exam date is on the 14th of May. So pencil that in on your calendar now. It's like really important. We have the math exam for the department on the 11th of March. So that'll give us a little bit of a dry run on how things are going to go in technique getting into the exam. But that's the unit as a whole. If you are a 10th or 11th grader and are not going on ISP, after the AP exam, we're going to take on some advanced topics that will lead you toward ACalc and linear next year, but just hang on to that. Grading. This is pretty straightforward, I believe. Essentially, you're going to get 2 semester grades. So you get a first semester grade, a second semester grade. Those get averaged, and that gives you most of your course grade. 15% of the course grade will come from your exam grade. That's that March exam. So if you take 42 and a half and 42 and a half, I believe that comes up to 85. And 85 and 15 is 100% of your grade. So 2 semesters and 1 exam grade comprise your entire grade. The semester grades themselves are broken into 2 parts. 10% of the grade is from formative assessments, which are like quizzes and things like that, smaller kind of things that are designed to help you gain understanding. And the last 90% of your semester grade comes from summative assessments, which are tests. Okay, so these are much more substantial, meaty kind of things. In the idea of being and not seeming, we are not giving extra credit in this course. If a grade becomes disastrous, we can talk about that, but ultimately my bottom line here is that there is no extra credit. You will be ultimately receiving feedback on your report cards for like your 21st century skills of critical thinking, perseverance, creativity, collaboration, and curiosity. You'll also be getting feedback on your work habits, your engagement, your attention to detail, your organization, your ability to self-advocate, and making sure that you get all of your work done on time. The attendance policy, because this is an AP course, there is no retakes. So assessments stand as they are. There is no retakes policy for this course. Attendance policy is in line with the school handbook that you may want to read through. My expectation is you're on time every time. This is a class that you don't want to miss, okay? Academic honesty, I have a little bit of something to say here. I've pulled what's in the faculty handbook, the school handbook for this, but I want to talk a little bit about collaboration. Collaboration is expected in this course, and it's a fine line sometimes between collaborating and plagiarizing or cheating. Here's where I draw that line. If 2 students sit down with a single sheet of paper, work out something together, and then when they are finished, take that sheet of paper, throw it away, and each of them independently produce their own work, that's collaboration. If you are both handing in work that is all on one sheet of paper, or one student has made a direct copy of another student's work, that's cheating. And these things are very different. So basically, when I get the work from you, it should look like you did this work independently at some point. Can you do collaboration leading up to that independent work? Absolutely. But ultimately, what you should be turning in is your own work informed by your collaboration. All right. So I think that's it. If there's something about this that's not making sense or you think needs to be adjusted, we'll find me. We'll have a conversation. I may or may not agree with you, but I will hear you out because ultimately this course is about your learning, and the person who has the best sense of knowledge about that is you. All right, so that's it. Enjoy the school year.